Hi, today we're at the blueberry farm that belongs to Albert, my husband, and me, Ann. Next week we're celebrating 50 years of marriage. I know we don't look that old, but we really are. 50 years. We've been growing blueberries, what, 40?
Yeah.
40, about 40 years of those 50. And today I want to show you two different varieties here. It's pretty obvious that you're going to see two different varieties of blueberries. Blueberries are kind of like apples. You know, you can buy different varieties of apples. Well, blueberries have different varieties as well. However, in the store, you don't know what variety you get. But the farmer knows. And we're going to show you today. Come on, let's go see.
Can you see the differences in the two different varieties of blueberries? This one on my right is Keecrisp. This one on my left is called Optimus. Now there's several differences in them, not only just by looking at them, but there's a difference in the taste. There's a difference in the maturity of the blueberry, and that's the reason farmers plant more than one variety. Sometimes we may get a hard freeze, and this variety blooms much earlier than that one, and it may get taken out, and we still have a chance with the other variety. Also, it spreads out your harvest time, it spreads out your marketing, and that's one of the reasons for planting more than one variety.
And you know, today it's December the 9th. And it's hot here in South Georgia, actually hot. Our weather really fluctuates. We can have really warm days, like today it's in the high 70s, and then Monday it's supposed to be in the 50s. So we have varying temperatures. What we really have to be careful about is a late freeze in March. If we get a late freeze, these berries, these bushes will have berries on them, and a late freeze can wipe us out. So we have to really stay on top of that.
I can show you the fruit buds that are forming. These are the buds that's going to make the bloom. And each one of those blooms will typically have 7 to 8 flowers. And all those flowers won't make a blueberry. There is a possibility, but it just won't. But it will be, as we move on into February, these buds will start cracking and the flowers will begin to emerge. You can see the difference in the color on this plant, how much more purple there is in this variety as compared to the Optimus we just looked at. But there again, behind each one of these leaves, up near the top, is the fruit buds that has begun to form. And we just hope that, as she said a while ago, we don't get a late freeze and take them out before maturity. And we do have, one thing you may notice out here, we have these sprinklers out here. And this is for overhead protection, so that if the temperature drops, if we have flowers or berries in the field and the temperature drops below freezing, we can turn the water on, and by icing these plants, we can protect it down to usually about 26 degrees, provided there's no wind. There's a lot of scientific factors that go into that. It's a very complicated procedure. But that's what these sprinklers are out here for.
This happens to be my favorite variety. This is the one that I sell the most in the store. It's called the Keecrisp. And the reason it sells so well, blueberries are not usually firm. Blueberries are naturally a soft fruit. This particular variety of berry, however, has an actual crunch to it. People have begun to ask in the store, do you have those crunchy berries? Because it's almost like if you bite into a grape, the firmness of the grape. That's what these blueberries have. They have, and they're quite large too, quite large, big as a quarter or bigger. The flavor is just tremendous. And this happens to be my favorite variety. If we stop and look at this Keecrisp plant right here, not all the plants do exactly the same, but if you look, this plant actually had already made blueberries, and then we got a below 32-degree cold one night, and you see what happened. They turned purple, and they're drying up. This is not what you want to see this time of the year, but it just happens. Here's a bloom that might possibly make a berry, but this is really too early for them. But thankfully, it appears there's enough buds on there that if we lose these, we'll have more coming behind them.
Last year in December of 2022, this variety here, this Optimus, had bloomed a little early, and about 50% of it was in this stage right here, where you begin to see these flowers emerging. And we got down to about 17 degrees, I think, last year. Of course, it took those out. You can't frost protect when it gets that cold. Frost protection is only good down to about 26 degrees.
In 2020, when COVID hit, lots of things shut down. One of the things that we did was open our farm to a Upic. That's where you come out during the day, and we provide you with buckets and show you where to pick. And this is a variety that we choose to allow people to pick. They can pick as much as they want. They pay by the pound. And of course, we encourage them to eat as much as they can. We don't weigh you before and we don't weigh you after, so it doesn't matter how much you eat. And because blueberries are so good for you, this is just a great opportunity to get fresh from the farm fruit. And you can even freeze them, put them up, have them year round, share with your neighbors, give them away, or just enjoy them. They'll last in your refrigerator for 3 or 4 weeks if they're fresh picked from the farm. This is, like I said, my favorite variety, and I love for people to come out and enjoy these during the spring. We usually do that the end of April and during the month of May. Once this variety is gone, we stop the Upic. But if you're anywhere near our farm, northwest corner of Bacon County, you need to look us up. Come out and pick.
This is the power unit that we used for overhead protection on this field. This is a 6-cylinder Case IH engine. It pumps approximately 1,500 gallons per minute, and that's enough to take care of this 9-acre field here. We need, for frost protection, we need approximately 120 gallons per acre per minute, or per acre, in order to adequately protect for frost protection. So as you can see, we've got an 8-inch pipe going out into the pond, and that's the suction pipe. It pulls water out of the pond and then goes into another 8-inch pipe here that goes underground and then is split off as it follows around the edges of the field. And one goes up to the middle of the field and have laterals going down in to take care of the other end of the field.
Hey, do you remember, I think it was 2 years ago, when we got really, really cold and we put water on these to protect them, to keep them from freezing? But what happened that night? Because we just about lost a crop.
We were on the verge of losing the whole crop by putting water there, because freeze protection works on the principle of latent heat of evaporation. And so the water has to be evaporating at the same rate that it's freezing. And if you don't get enough water on there, then it freezes and there's no evaporation going on. As water freezes, it has to give off its heat. And that's what makes this frost protection work. And I've probably told you more than I really understand, but there's a narrow window in there where frost protection will work. And when it works good. And if you turn your freeze protection on at say 5 o'clock in the afternoon and the wind picks up about 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock that night and your evaporation rate is higher than the amount of water you can put on there, you just ruined your crop. So it's a really big chance to take.
We sure do thank you for coming and joining us in our tour of the blueberry field here in northwest Bacon County. We love it here, enjoy growing blueberries, enjoy meeting new people, and I sure hope you'll subscribe to our YouTube channel because we have a lot more interesting things to show you as this year progresses. Merry Christmas!